Hi, my name's Amy Sobel, and this is my Costa Rica experience, Maymester 2013 at the University of Colorado Denver video. This is to highlight my key experiences or highlights that I took away from the trip, kind of a reflection of everything that we experienced. A little bit about myself. I am a graduate student in the Department of Environmental Sciences at UCD. I'll be graduating in December of 2013, hopefully. And the reason that I chose to go on this trip, among many, were my love of traveling and the environment. And I thought what better way to do it than to be part of this Costa Rica trip that was exploring a variety of ideas on sustainable development and ecotourism and systems thinking and kind of our effect on everything that's happening on the planet today. One of the key things that really struck me and taught me the most was the rich biodiversity and beauty of the country. It's something that you always hear about, or that I'd always heard about, of Costa Rica just being the place where so many animals reside, so many species and rainforest and just beauty that you can never imagine, and everything I heard was absolutely true. Everything's just green and lush and alive, from rainforest and waterfalls, just beautiful mighty rivers and gorgeous white sand beaches. We saw it all, and it really struck home and makes you appreciate what you're fighting for and what you dedicate your life's work to when you're in the midst of it. And now when I'm home and those stories of deforestation and everything going on in Costa Rica I hear about, it'll definitely ring a little bit different in my mind now. Another aspect of the biodiversity, obviously, were the animals. We saw a plethora of animals, from jaguars and monkeys, toucans and hummingbirds. We saw frogs, pigs, fish, bats, leaf ants, scorpions, just to name a few. Every day it was an adventure to see how many species we were going to see, some for the first time ever, some that I'd only seen in documentaries or read about, that we saw face to face. And once again, it was definitely something that was a once in a lifetime experience that I'll never forget. There were also the rich plant biodiversity. There were species of plants I'd never heard of, some of which the guides had never heard of. We saw flowers of every color and trees of every height. And again, it just really made you appreciate a little bit more everything that's going on, and really want to be involved and stop the deforestation and destruction that's going on, so generations to come can experience and appreciate the same things that we got to on this trip. Another big highlight for me of the trip was our visit to La Selva Research Station. I would say I probably learned the most and was inspired the most during our stay here. We were surrounded by people who care and are really fighting the fight for the environment. This research station is the top of its kind in the world. There's more published articles, scientifically published articles, and long-term studies coming out of this research station than anywhere else in the world. There's just so many amazing thoughts and ideas being generated and thrown around here to try to see what can be done to rectify our situation, and to be a little bit more proactive than reactive, and just amazing things going on. They're understanding that more people need to be reached and involved. As Carlos, the director of La Selva, explained to us, and it's this rings true anywhere, I think, when you're trying to get people to take care of the environment and care for it without any experience or personal attachment to nature, to anything going on. You have no vested interest in protecting your environment. From kids to teachers to villagers and scientists, Carlos reiterated that change needs to happen, and it needs to happen quickly. He's trying to get schools involved with the center, and teachers involved, and doing everything from GIS, showing mapping, to get people more interested, to reaching out to school children all over the country as he had done before. Again, key primary focus was on just trying to reach as many people as possible, rather than just the small people he can reach in La Selva itself. He's trying to bring his thoughts and ideas out into the world. Another amazing thing that he's working on are creating corridors and working with the locals to make it worth their while. Costa Rica is rapidly losing its wildlife corridors or connective forest, and Carlos is working with other agencies in the country to try to create a connected corridor through a series of rivers and waterways throughout the country to ensure that the forest and natural resources of Costa Rica will be there for future generations to appreciate. One of the most, I would say, eye-opening moments of the entire trip, and that I've had in the past few years being involved with the program and just being caught up every day with environmental sciences and things going on in the world, was the study that Carlos mentioned that was going on. Well, two different things. One was that they found now over a 20 or 30 year study coming out of La Selva that the trees have actually stopped growing, or they're decreasing in their growth rate, which is quite scary. And also the photosynthesis, the ceiling, that we can reach the ceiling of what our plants and trees are actually taking in as far as carbon goes, and the photosynthetic process, that we could reach that tipping point a lot sooner than we thought. And the graph that he showed us really made you stop and think, how much longer are we really going to have, and are people going to even be there to appreciate La Selva and the future? Which I hope so, because it's an amazing place, and definitely some place that I hope future Costa Rican experienced students get to see. I'd say lastly that the biggest thing that I learned from, that I love the most, were the people. People that I was with in the group, the students and teachers, everyone coming from different backgrounds, just taught me so much and taught the group so much, from their own experiences in life to their expert in the field reports. And everybody was just excited and knowledgeable, and just a joy to be around, and I really learned a lot. It was just really neat to have so many different types of people there. And also, or I think even more so, would be the locals, what they taught us. And it's just, I think when you really learn about people and their culture, it's when you get into the rural areas and people who are connected to their land. They're so enthusiastic and involved, intelligent, knowledgeable, friendly, happy, and mostly inspirational. From the cooks to the guides to the scientists, even our professors, they all taught us so much. I think the biggest thing I took away from it was that it really taught me that without a connection to the land that you're on, we have nothing. You have no reason to protect the environment, no vested interest. You can only truly want to fight for something if it resides in your heart and your soul, like so many of the people we met. And with that, I would say it definitely was a life-changing experience on so many different levels. My thoughts on the issues are stronger now than they were before, on things like sustainable development, conservation, all the broad issues that we touched on. I would say mostly that I feel like at this point, any development, or I feel like almost any human is harming the environment in some way. But at that same point, I know that there has to be development, there has to be growth. There's just better ways to go about it. I'm not really sure what that is yet, but I think the key thing is to approach everything with an understanding of the connectedness of it all, of all systems, all people, all ecosystems. You can't alter one thing without altering the other. Just like mountain villages we saw in Costa Rica affecting the people downstream in San Jose, or us demanding pineapples in the winter here, causing deforestation in Costa Rica. There's just so many things that our daily choices affect that we really need to become aware of and change and realize what really matters in life and what makes us happy. Like I said, this was definitely a life-changing experience, and it's always eye-opening and wonderful to see other cultures and ways of living. Pura vida.